welcome one and all to the RaceFace GT3 Championship AM Gold and AM Silver server. This is race 7 of 8 at Monza, the Theatre of Speed, and I'm Altman, your host. Let's see how the guys do around Monza. Always interesting to see the first lap, first turn. That first chicane can be quite hair-raising, but these guys know what they're doing, right? This will be all good and fun. I think we should start with seeing what the logs look like, since this is the second last round. Let's have a look. Firstly, in our GT3 AM Silver split, we can see Brendan Fenter at the top of the leaderboard, joined first with Alex.Pro. Not sure why Alex is in second. I'm sure that's a technicality with total positions or something, or maybe races complete. But yeah, they joined with 224 points in the Run van der Walt, pretty close behind. None of these guys are guaranteed a top 3, as Lucas Hubert is still within reach. So we look down. Apologies. As we look down to the top 12, Michael Donaldson, Vic Petro, Marius Senekal in 9th at the moment, with William Wentworth in 10th, Marius Abers in 11th, and Ludwig Zitzmann in 12th. Let's have a look at the AM Gold, where it gets really tight in the races, but Jason Landsberg seems to be running away with it at the moment with 261 points. Gio Mouton, these guys are battling for race wins. A little bit behind. There's still chances here if Guillaume puts in a good couple of races and Jason somehow manages to not complete races. There's still chances. And while these guys have been battling, Graham Moll snuck onto the 3rd spot there. But Arne Kroos and Rob van den Heever and Gerard Pretorius all are still within reach of that 3rd spot in the gold leaderboard. A little bit further down, you can see Jackie Alberts in 7th, Heinrich de Wet in 8th, Ulrich de Jager, Quinten Janssen van Rensburg, Gavin Scruton and Jonathan Chislett. All of these guys feature quite heavily in the broadcasts. But since we're talking about the broadcast, let's have a look at Quali. Currently following Jackie Alberts as he's coming around track. Currently, I think he just passed through the Lesmos. Coming into Ascari. We should see some of these guys completing laps. I think this will be our first lap completed by Jacques Slater in a BMW 235. It is 8:30 PM currently. The guys have 15 minutes total to put up their best lap. But I think if you look at the practice servers, this might be a night race, which means all those guys with the beautiful liveries will not be enjoying their liveries on the stream that much. Welcome to everyone on the stream. Thanks, Jean-Ray. Thanks for the support. And yeah, let's keep the support coming for Graham Moll. As you have a look, Luke and Haynes currently putting up a pretty decent lap time there of 1:48.3. Some of the guys following closely behind. Trying to have a look at who's currently on a pretty good lap. You can see Henny Potgieter. He already has a time on the board. A little ways off, but he's on another fast lap now. Marius Abers had to abandon his lap. He probably went through the softboard chicane. As we can see, Jakob Kutzer just ahead of him, also deciding to call it quits on that lap. Alex Petro and this beautiful Lamborghini. Currently a little bit off the times, but still looking good. I can tell you that Lucan, no, he was on a pretty good lap. Let's have a look. Might be just a little bit slower than he wanted to be. I think he had a little bit of a bad exit at Ascari. Let's have a little helicam of him as he comes through Parabolica, hoping to complete another lap. I don't think he's going to improve on his lap time. My timing board says it's going to be almost dead heat. Currently a 148.3. And he puts a 148.4, so fractionally slow. And while we've been watching him, we can see Brendan Fenter just behind by 0.008 seconds. In my book, that's a dead heat. Luckily, we go down to a couple of decimal points there, and we can really focus on who is faster by a hair or two. Not that it would be me, since I don't have that much hair. Let's have a look. Alex Petro, as we said earlier, was on a really fast lap. Even better now. Shaves off 2 seconds of his lap time. Does a 148.5. Really solid lap time there. Let's have a look who else is currently on a good lap. Guillaume Mouton, as he comes around, his last one was a 149.4. This looks to be in the 148s. Let's see if he can push it through. Indeed, 148.3 goes to the top of the spot, and the top 3 guys are all within 0.02 seconds of each other. That is dead heat stuff. In the old days of a stopwatch in your hand, no one would be able to tell who's in first place there. Let's have a look a little bit further back. Jason Landsberg currently on his lap time. Unsure if he went off track. It doesn't seem to be tracking this lap. It does, only up to 14th. We know Jason's not the best one-lapper, but certainly has the race pace, as we can tell from the leaderboard currently. Lucan currently on another fast lap. He'll jump up a little. I think he might actually jump to pole, and he does with 0.2 seconds jump to provisional pole. There's about 7 minutes left of this quali. Jackie Alberts with a very respectable 5th place at the moment, 0.4 seconds behind. I think he's currently on an outlap, not doing that well on a deltas, but that's fine. I'm sure he's just cooling those tires a little bit as he comes around for another go around Parabolica to start another lap. Jaco Kutzer, we saw him abandon his lap earlier, currently on a really fast lap. This delta should put him in pole position if he can maintain this. Still early days on the lap. Coming into Ascari. Let's stick with him for a little bit as his delta keeps improving. Jaco on a stormer of a lap here. In the meantime, we can see Lucan Haynes, Gerard Pretorius and Ulrich de Jager all out qualifying Guillaume at the top there. I'm sure Guillaume won't let that go. But here comes Jaco Kutzer with what could be a pole position lap time. Really putting that McLaren down the straight. And indeed, that is pole position by 0.3 seconds. Excellent lap from Jaco Kutzer. Ruan Liebenberg. Not sure if he's a new driver, but he's also in Panda City, in the Panda City livery. Or like I like to call it, the Pandacity. I'm sure they would not be happy with that, but the Panda livery really standing out in the daytime. Hopefully we can get a little closer. In fact, we can get nice and close and give the sponsors something to look at. Rowan jumping up to 14th place. Arne Gross chasing down Graham Mole on the leaderboard. Comes around the second Lesmo in the Gulf livery Porsche. There's no Gulf branding on it, but we all know what those colors mean. Coming through Ascari. Good on the exit all the way. Uses every inch of the track. He's on his way to a pretty good lap time there, Arne. and should jump up quite a few positions. On the exit of Parabolica, flat out, pedal to the metal, crosses the line, makes up a few positions. 22nd, I'm sure Arno would want to do a little bit better than that. Let's have a look who else. Ruan Liebenberg currently on a pretty fast lap, exiting Ascari, coming into Parabolica shortly. See if he can improve his lap time a little bit. Well, if he keeps this up, he definitely will. Conditions seem perfect for racing. Not too hot, not too cold. Yeah, Genre, that Porsche sounds nice, and I think Ruan jumps up to 4th place. He would definitely be happy with that. That's excellent lap from Ruan. Let's have a quick rundown through our current leaderboard. First place is Jaco Kutzer with a lap time that the other guys really have to start pulling finger. There's just over 3 minutes left to start your quali lap, and he's got quite a margin on the rest of the guys. I take it back. I said Jason normally not too hot on the quali on a 1 lap. Currently finds himself in the front row next to Jaco Kutzer. I feel bad for saying that, but yeah, he's up there now and making that Aston Martin go like snot. Lucan Haynes in 3rd position. Lots of support for Lucan in the chat. I think that was a little bit wide on the track then. He might need to abandon, but we'll see when he continues if that lap time will actually count or not. Another wide turn there. As you can see him kicking the dust up. Jackie Alberts in 4th place. Jackie keeps going better and better each week. Let's hope he can maintain that through into the race. Ron Liebenberg currently in the pits, now in 5th. Gerard Pretorius, also one who always fights for a podium position at least. Gerard, one of the quicker drivers on the grid for sure. Brendan Venter leading the AM Silver all the way from Portugal, pushing that BMW all over the track. Ulrich de Jager in 8th, Dylan Hall in 9th, both of those guys in the pit. Guillaume Mouton all the way down in 10th. He had a couple of good laps in the beginning, but as the track's settling in, guys get their tyres into the right window. They've not just caught up, but overtook him. But it's a really close field. Sure, all the way up to 17th, within 1 second of each other. Means there's not a lot of breathing room here. Any slight mistake will push you way down the order. Big Herbst, I think he just went a little wide. Don't know if he tried to abandon that lap. Looks like he was on an out lap already, and that was his push lap. He's back on track though, and he should there should be enough time for don't know if he's going to have enough time to start another lap with 1 minute left. You need to be at least around the Lesmos, maybe even coming down to Ascari by now if you want to have another crack at this pole position. Jaco Kutzer coming around Parabolica, he should have another lap time. He is actually currently improving on his lap time. Fastest is a 777. This lap, 0.815. Again, such fine margins. There's no room for error. He maintains his provisional pole for now. Let's see how the other guys do. You can see Graham Moll coming around the corner now to do his lap. He jumps up to 20th, a 149.16. A little bit back from where I think Graham would want to be if he's in the top 3 at the moment, but yeah, there's no time for him to improve on that, but I know Graham has great race pace and should make up quite a few positions. Let's have a look who has not started. Anybody who's not started a lap now will not be able to improve. Lucan Haynes, is he improving? No. Lucan finds himself at the highest position of 5th. Also coming around the corner is Vic Herbst. Vic will finish or start on 14th. Can see Brendan Fender pulling into the pits, trying to get to the other driver just there. Robert Klopstra surprises everyone with a big jump up to 4th place. Gerard Pretorius currently on a fast lap as well. Will he be improving at all? No, he heads into the pits. Let's see Henry Platt in his black and gold Ferrari. Definitely trying a push here to improve a little bit from 21st, and he goes up to 18th. Not too bad. Vic Pitro currently in 27th. Also in a push lap in another Porsche. And he will stay in 27th. Let's have a look. Jaco Kutzer, no, he's going to jump into the pits. I thought he might be cutting off his competitor, but no, they're going fine around the corner. Jason Landsberg trying to improve, but I don't think he will. And he notices he won't, and he pulls into the pits. Quinten Janse van Rensburg, someone I haven't spoken about tonight, in 13th currently, also not going to make it, in a really bad entrance into the pits. And I think that's it. Everybody is now either in the pits. No, I lie, there's still someone coming. Guillaume's coming into the pits. And Marius Eibers on a last-ditch effort, trying to jump from 28th. Does he improve? He goes to 26th. Every position matters right now. And that concludes our session. Whew. Give me a moment and we'll quickly switch to the race, to the grid. One moment, we'll be right back. And welcome back. As the guys form up on the grid, let's go to a quick grid walk. Currently in 1st place, Jaco Kutzer with an excellent lap time. Next to him is Jason Landsberg, and just behind the two of them we can find Guillaume Mouton and Robert Klopstra. On the 3rd row we have Lucan Haynes and Jackie Albert, two of the guys with the most supporters on the stream for sure. But it's good to see all the guys having some fans on the stream. In 7th is Ruan Liebenberg in a Ferrari, and next to him is Gerard Pretorius, also in a Ferrari. This is a 2 front Ferraris on the grid at the moment. 9th, Brendan Venter, and next to him Ulrich de Jager. 11th place is Dylan Hall. 12th, Rob van Heerden, Rob van den Heever. 13th is Quinten Janse van Rensburg, and next to him is Vic Herbst. Behind these guys we can find Ruan van der Walt and Alex Pitro. Parking their cars in the dark at the moment, and we'll really try and keep an eye on their liveries tonight with 40 seconds before the race starts. 17th is Henry Platt in a black and gold Ferrari. Behind him is Heinrich de Wet and Arne Kroos in the 2 Porsches, and right behind them in another Porsche is Graham Moll and Francois Heinz. Then in 22nd we have Henny Potgieter, then Rick Thomas, then Lucas Hubert, and next to him is Marius Eibers. Jacques Slater behind them, with Vic Pitro next to him, followed by Aletta Grobler, Michael Donaldson and Gary van den Haar. Right, and here we go, we are off. The guys will start a short formation lap around Parabolica, and then we'll have 90 minutes of race time. Turn 1 unfortunately is always chaos. I take that back, often is chaos, but we know that these guys know how to drive. We've seen them in the season thus far, and we're hoping for a clean start to give everyone a fair chance to find their space on the track, complete a couple of laps, and let the real racing begin. With 90 minutes, let's have a look, and it's green flags. Oh, and Jaco has a great start with Jason Landsberg falling back a little bit. Robert Klopstra overtaking Guillaume Mouton, but Guillaume has the inside line as they come into turn 1. Robert Klopster decides to drop back a little bit. I can see Luke and Haynes pushing through as well. Everyone coming through turn 1. A little bit of argy-bargy, a little bit further back. I can see Jackie Alberts losing a few positions, but everyone's still clean at the moment. Someone goes way off track, unfortunately. Let's see who that is. Henry Platt has made it through. As we see, Francois Haynes, unfortunately, the only driver who ends up facing the wrong way. He won't be happy about that. Oh, and he struggles to get it back on track. I can also see Henny Potgieter seems to have had a little bit of incident, but further up ahead, Jaco Kutz is building up a huge lead of over 2 seconds. Jason Landsberg being put under pressure from Robert Klopstra and Gio Mouton right behind him. And then Luke and Haynes slightly back from them as he's trying to defend from Jackie Alberts. The guys finally find themselves in a little bit of space. I can see Ruan van der Walt losing a few positions. Not sure if he had a little bit of an incident coming into the first Lesmo, and he's getting pushed around on a second Lesmo as the guys head down to Ascari. Ulrich de Jager following through, coming into Ascari. Oh, someone goes wide just behind him. I think it's Quintians van Rensburg who manages to keep it on track. A little bit of slippy slidey, but he's going well now, and he's through Ascari, not losing too many positions. But Gio Mouton, on the other hand, lost a chunk of positions. Let's quickly go back and see what happened to Guillaume coming into Ascari. I think he might have clipped some of the sausage curbs there. Let's have a look. That's Guillaume in a red BMW coming down into the Ascari. Currently finds himself still in 4th. He does go a bit wide. Oh, runs through the grass and a little bit of sand trap. Manages to avoid all the walls, and he's back on track. He could definitely sigh a deep breath of relief there. I think he'd be quite nervous about that exit. Okay, so we get back to the live feed. Guillaume finds himself in 8th place, really under pressure from everyone else. Gerard Pretorius loses a few positions, at least one, and he keeps dropping. I'm not sure if it's another incident a little bit further back. Jaco Kutzer at the moment with a 4-second lead, really showing everyone else how to navigate around the theatre of speed here in Monza. Robert Klopstra is currently in 2nd, building up a bit of a gap to Luke and Haynes behind him as well, over a second at the moment, about 1.5 seconds. There's Lucan in 3rd position in the BMW. Beautiful livery with the SA flag on top. Proudly South African, aren't we all? Jackie Alberts in 4th place, really bringing up the train of drivers behind him. Everyone trying to push and make an early push for a few positions. Depending on their tyre strategy and their fuel strategy, they might want to push now while the cars are still light. Jackie Cake takes a little bit of a cut from there, but he had to because Jason Landsberg was right behind him, pushing hard to make his way back up to the front. Yeah, Jean Ray, I agree. Those guys made the rest of us look like a bunch of nanas for keeping it so clean through the first. There's a few smaller incidents, but in the dark, that was a great start. How's it, Sean? Welcome to the stream as well. Proudly supporting the Panda City team. Annihilated in place. Good to have you guys here as well. And Emma Wagner, welcome. Go Rob Klopstra. Yeah, Rob's really up in a good position at the moment, making that Porsche fly around Monza. In fact, we can get a little closer, and I know Jean-Ray will appreciate that humming Porsche. In fact, let's go for a helmet cam and we can see exactly what Rob sees at night. It's not much. As he comes into De La Roggia. Beautiful lines through there, nice and smooth. Rob making it through like a pro. Higher blade. Let's have a look at where Francois Haynes finds himself. Currently in 23rd place. Francois also in a BMW, car number 77 for the Racing Snails. Finds himself in 23rd as he's coming into De La Roggia. think Brendan Fenter might be having some connection issues. He just jumped everyone on the leaderboard into 9th, even though he's got a nice little buffer to drivers ahead and behind him. Yeah, there definitely seems to be some connection issues. Now, we'll keep an eye on that. If anybody drops out and comes back in, it does tend to throw the leaderboard out for a second. So I was panicking a little bit there, thinking that we have some server issues. We can see Gerard Pretorius pulls into the pits. I think he's the first one to budge. No, some of the lower guys already went into the pits. This being a 90-minute race, every driver has to have 2 pit stops. Each pit stop needs to have at least 1 liter of fuel added. You don't have to change your fuel tires, but you do have to add 1 liter of fuel at least. Jaco Kutzer now built up a 6-second lead after 3 laps, really in a league of his own. I'm not sure if he's got a light fuel load now to try and build up a big gap, or if he's just that good with a great setup for the McLaren. But yeah, it's flying around here. Ulrich de Jager lost a few positions there to Gio Mouton and Jackie Alberts. He's not safe yet though. Quinten Janssen van Rensburg was breathing down his neck. Go back to the helicam. Sometimes it's easier, but I have to say at night it kind of makes it harder even to see what's going on. And as I'm watching, Quinten goes a little wide into the entry of Ascari, but keeps the tires on the ground and is pulling away from Brendan Fenter just behind him. Nice composure from Quinten there. Jason Landsberg goes a little slow. Not sure if it's just the entry to Parabolica that he was a little bit hard on the brakes, but he's off again. Nothing to worry about for Jason. Ulrich de Jager in the pits as well. There he is. And what did I tell you? Graham Moll already up to 12th place, keeping his nose clean, hoping for another top 10 finish. If he keeps this up, shouldn't be too much of a problem. As he comes into the first chicane, turn 1. He's got a nice buffer behind him of about 5 odd seconds. And he's keeping within striking distance of Rob van den Heever and Heinrich de Wet just ahead of him. Brendan Fenter pushing hard, trying to make that position on Quinten Janssen van Rensburg. He's been breathing down his neck for quite a while. No rest for the wicked as Brendan now trying to take a position from Quinten. Also has to defend from Vic, not too far behind him, although I think Vic had a bit of a bad exit to the second Lesmo there and is now dropping back. And when I say dropping back, we're still talking about a second back, which can easily happen without anybody blinking. Mario Senecal, welcome. Unfortunately not racing tonight, it sounds. Load shedding striking yet again. Sorry about that. Hopefully you can be back on track next week. Brendan Fenter takes a position from Heinrich de Wet, I think. No, Brendan Fenter losing a position, sorry, as he's battling hard with Vic Herbst. They're 2 guys, equally colourful liveries. And I do think that Brendan is just losing a little bit out there. Vic staying in the lead for now. Brendan has a look on the inside, making Vic aware that he's there. Decides to back off a little bit and rather bide his time and make sure, if you want to attempt an overtake into turn 1, you need to be sure that you're going to make it stick. See Rick Thomas further down, also entering the pits. Guys are on different strategies. 10 minutes into the race exactly, he pulls into the pits. Quinten Janssen van Rensburg in the meantime built up a bit of a gap as the guys behind him, Vic Herbst and Brendan Fenter, are battling it out. Brendan this time having a look on the outside, coming into Lesmo 1. tries to cut back. Not enough space between the two Lesmos to really make an attack. But with a great exit here, coming up to Ascari, you can definitely make a push. Although I think Brendan won't have enough gas this time around. Come back and have a look later and see what's going on there, because just further back, Ruan Liebenberg is chasing down Gerard Pretorius. Really close coming into the chicane there. I think he might be had to be pushing on the brakes a little bit to avoid contact, and that affords Gerard a little bit of a breathing space. The guys are now settling nicely into a bit of a gap. Oh, Brendan Venter really pushing hard. Does take Vic, but Vic takes it back. As these guys are putting up the battle of the evening so far. Very entertaining and thus far very clean. Good to watch. Let's see if they can make an attack coming into the first turn. Don't think there's quite enough speed to make that stick. Vic will probably try and do a bit of a cutback and have a faster exit, but as these guys are battling, the rest of the group caught up. Heinrich de Wet and Rob van den Heever and Graham Mole, all just behind these guys. Let's have a look at Graham, and from his point of view, he should probably be able to see the guys up ahead battle. Yeah, Flace, we should put on the track lights. This is not Formula 1. These guys like driving in the dark. No track lights for them. I can see Rob is so close to Heinrich de Wet, just ahead of him. Someone kicking up dust. Making full use of the track width there. The stewards will allow you 3 times off track if you gain some time. If you do it your 4th time after your 3rd warning, you get a drive-through penalty. I get it now. Mario is saying there is no street lights because it is load shedding. I misread that. Yeah. Jenny's only run some lights in the pits, I think. Graham Mole squeezing in on Rob van den Heever there, as Rob's trying to squeeze in on Heinrich de Wet. Oh, has a little peak on the inside. Not enough room, as Graham Mole is really close now to Rob van den Heever. Always difficult to gain enough momentum coming out of the first chicane, but all the way around Curva Grande there's enough room to tuck in behind and see if he can make a move into De La Roja. Jackie Albert loses a position to... oh no, I see why he's losing a position. I thought he lost a position to Guillaume Mouton, but he's losing loads of positions there. Waits like a gentleman for the cars to cross before he turns around. Let's see what happens to Jackie. I think this is... yeah, this is the first second chicane, sorry, De La Roja. A little bit early on the gas, bit of a tank slapper, and he ends up hitting the wall. Let's hope it's not a lot of damage and he can get back as we watch him do the right thing and wait for an opportunity to return to track rather than force it and taking out other drivers. Unfortunately, we can see Jackie's now down in 16th place. Brendan Venter, however, still pushing, being put under pressure. Between him and Quinten van Rensburg, I don't even know who's in the lead and where they've been. Brendan chasing down Quinten, and just ahead of them I can see Guillaume Mouton, I think, just overtook Lucan Haynes. Lucan had a little bit of an incident, coming a little bit slow. Let's go back quickly and see if Lucan does lose that position, or if he's been behind Guillaume for a while. Oh, he does go wide into the sand trap coming out of Parabolica. Really tough place. There comes Guillaume. No sweat. And being such a long straight, every K an hour you are slower than your opponent, feels like he's just running away from you. Nothing you can do. Unfortunate for Luke in there. Luckily avoided any walls, so his car should still be good, and he should be good to go. I can tell you that Jackie, after that incident, did not pit. He is still 16th, and I think the damage was obviously not enough to warrant a pit stop right now. Vic Harps now going slow, losing positions, falling behind Brendan Venter, Heinrich de Wet and Rob van den Heever, and now has Graham Mole all over his tail. This is going to be tough for Vic to maintain this position. Graham Mole pulling almost alongside him. Is he going to make a dash on the inside? Oh, takes a couple of bites out of that sausage curb. Coming into Ascari. Great exit from Graham. Uses the full width of the track, but does he have enough to clamber up the rank there? Vic stays ahead for now. And let's see from Graham's point of view if he's going to try and make a move as they come out Parabolica. Don't be too easy there, Graham. You can see that Ruan van der Walt is right on your tail as well. And Graham decides to pit now. And the Ruan van der Walt is now up into 12th place, 11th place. After just over 15 minutes, Graham pulls into the pits. You can see on the ladder there, the 2 after their race number is how many pit stops they still have left. Currently the top 17 guys are yet to pit. Still early days. A lot of guys choose to either have a light tank, empty tank in the beginning, do a quick sprint up the rankings, then have a nice long pit stop. Other guys prefer to have a bit of a splash and dash as your second stop, your first stop, sorry, and then maybe pull in later on for a full stop with tires and fuel. Changing tires takes exactly 30 seconds of standing time in the pits, and that's often a good time to add a good couple of liters as well as the guys change the tires. Vic Herbst, not to be outdone, is now trying to chase back Rob van den Heever. I can see. No, there she is. Aletta unfortunately had a little bit of an incident. Let's go back and see what happened there. Similar to Jackie, I think. Coming around the Curva Grande into the Della Roja chicane. And let's have a look. Just a little fast into that chicane. Jumps on the sausages. Manages to avoid the wall though. Through the sand trap, and she should be okay. Jaco Kutzer falling into a nice rhythm now. He has a lead over Robert Klopstra of about 6.7 seconds at the moment. Realizing he's got a nice gap built up, I think he might be trying to save some tires. Lap times are still super consistent, and yeah, all within a second of his best time. That's looking solid from Jaco there. Robert Klopstra might have a small gap to Jason Landsberg just behind him, but maintaining second position for now and doing really well. Jason Landsberg on the other hand, and Guillaume Mouton, these guys are not just fighting for the last podium spot here. As Guillaume goes on the inside, no, I beg your pardon, it's Jason on the inside. Jason keeping Guillaume behind him. It's hard to tell with this aerial view in the night which car is which. Jason in the Aston Martin, Guillaume behind him in the BMW. These guys have been having some excellent battles on track the last couple of races, and also fighting for the championship. Good to see that the guys are not resting on their laurels, giving it the full push. Guillaume Mouton in fourth. Dropping back a little bit from Jason now. Not quite sure why. Not sure if there's a little incident or not. Behind him is Lucan Haynes, also in the BMW. Currently in 5th. And in fact, he's right on Guillaume's tail, looking to take the position. Hopefully Guillaume's not having any issues. And it's just a case of Lucan being a great racer, chasing down our 2nd position in the championship. Quinten Janssen van Rensburg and then another BMW. There's 4 of them in a row. He's just ahead of Brendan Venter in the 4th BMW. The guys seem to have found a little bit of a rhythm going there. No one's really battling too hard. Saying that, Graham Mull right up beside Aletta, having a good push for that 16th position. Is he going to outbrake her coming into turn 1? No, he doesn't. In the meantime, Etienne Mouton is right down there as well. Oh no, Aletta goes a little wide, and that'll give both Etienne and Graham the chance to go past. And Aletta drops another position or 2 as she is now down in 18th. Well, Etienne was probably thinking this is a chance to take Graham just ahead of him. Graham sticks it and makes up a bit of room. Graham, of course, having already had his first pit stop. Etienne is yet to have a pit stop. Let's have a look at some guys I haven't spent a lot of time with. Heinrich de Wet in a Porsche. The green stripe Porsche, driving for KSR. Let's see him coming into the first corner. You can also see further back in 11th place Gary van den Haar, not a name I'm familiar with, driving another Aston Martin. Currently in 11th place. Is that the same Aston or is that... well, having deja vu. I think I asked this question the last time, if this is the V8 or the V12, but looking now I think that is the V8. Lucas Hubert in 19th place in a nag livery. Nagging on Ruan Liebenberg's tail as he makes a pass coming on the inside down the pit straight. It's going to come down to who's got the most guts, who's going to break the latest. Oh, Lucas having a look on the inside, leaving each other enough space. Well done, not forcing an overtake, but there isn't one. But unfortunately, it might have let Aletta breathe through, but she... the door's closed in her face and she has to bide her time for another opportunity as Ruan Liebenberg comes out ahead of this little skirmish. Let's see if Aletta's going to make a move coming into the chicane. No, she's not. She's going to bide her time. She goes wide a little again. Is that Aletta? No, beg your pardon. That's actually Lucas Hubert. It was Aletta going wide. Sorry, now Arden Kroos is right on her tail. Followed by Vic Herbst. These guys are really close together. Further up I can see Etienne Mouton trying to push Graham Mull. Not getting that opportunity, and Arden Kroos is still right on Aletta's tail. It sounds wrong. Arden is right up her exhaust pipe. Nope, that doesn't sound better. Arden Kroos in 21st and Aletta in 20th. And Vic Herbst trying to join this pattern. The 3 of them coming down the back straight towards Parabolica. Let's have a bit of a overview. Sure, Arden under pressure from Vic as he goes on the inside, avoids contact. Vic makes it stick, takes both Aletta and Arden Kroos out to the movies, and that's it. Unfortunately for Aletta, Arden Kroos also comes through. Great maneuver from Vic Herbst there, though. In fact, I think we should have another look at that. That's the wrong camera angle. Looking good. Coming through the inside, avoids contact, leaves enough room. Arne has a bit of a shocker to see the Vic's car so close. Decides to give it a little bit more room, and Vic comes through with a beautiful double overtake. Womeni, let's have a look. Womeni currently in 27th place in the Audi, coming around the Lesmos. Henny already had a pit stop, cruising along. Ron Liebenberg seems to have gone a little wide there as well. Let's have a quick look and see if anything drastic happened. Just a little bit wide into the first Lesmo, coming into the second. A little bit over eager to make it up the last time, but no, nothing bad at all. Marius Ebers losing a position to Ulrich de Jager. Oh, I can see Etienne Mouton also. The gap has gotten quite big to Graham Mull. Here he is, 30 seconds back, pretty close to Graham. And I think as they come into the chicane, the Ascari chicane just goes a little wide, bounces on the curb. Oh, he does hit the wall. I thought he might have missed it, but unfortunately he clips the wall. Should be a very light damage, if anything, and he should be clear to continue. He does in fact go into the pits, I can tell you, and he probably thinks it's a good opportunity to fix a little bit of damage and get some new tires and more fuel into the car. Let's see Etienne Mouton in the pits. Alex Petro now up into 12th position. Alex having a nice steady race. Coming into Ascari. I'm not sure, you guys should tell me which camera angles you find better in the dark. I find the TV cameras a little bit confusing at times, and the Helicam does seem to be a favorite. I'm open for requests. Quincy Janssen van Rensburg overtook Rob van den Heever. Not sure if that was just a quick position change to change back. Rob having a look. Who's going to be the bravest on the brakes? They keep it together, and I'm sure Rob would want to have another go come a lap or two. Big Herbst seems to be in the battles today. Arne Kroos has overtaken him along the way somehow. No, Arne was just behind him a few laps ago, but now in the lead. Vic trying to get a bit of a toe coming into Parabolica, and let's see who can make it stick best with a better exit down the straights. Vic seems to have a better line. Arne has a little bit of a snap, corrects it, catches it, but it's enough for Vic to take that position back now up to 18th. Arne tucks in behind him, hoping to get a bit of a draft before Lucas Hubert can catch them. Thanks, Annihilate. I'll stick it. Oh! Vic jumps the first chicane. You might have to think about letting that, giving that position up, although the stewards will probably just give him a warning. Not really too much of a battle when he jumped that, but still he might have gained a little bit of unfair advantage with a bit of a gap to Arne behind him. Meanwhile, Arne and Lucas Hubert made it stick through the chicane, and looking to close the gap. Lucas currently in 20th position, having a nice view of the battle up ahead of him. Brendan Fenter comes into the pits for his first pit stop, and that allows 4 or 5 guys ahead of him to make up some positions as they come into the first chicane. Ron Liebenberg has a yellow flag. Let's go back and see. That's probably from the exit of Ascari. Nice entrance. Easy. Oh, a bit of drifting. Oh no, he does hit the wall, unfortunately. That's quite a hard hit. Keeps a little bit of momentum going, which should be okay. Cuts across the track to avoid traffic. Stay off the grass. That's dangerous. He is going, and he's into the pits. That must have been quite a hard knock for him to go straight into the pits there. Let's hope it's not too bad and it falls into his pit strategy. Our leader, Jaco Kutzer, still out in the lead by 8 seconds. Jason Landsberg now made his way up to 2nd place with Robert Klopstra in 3rd. And all the excitement a little bit further back. I must have missed these position changes. Guillaume Mouton in 4th. Guillaume and Jason are championship leaders, with Graham Moll currently in 3rd place on the championship, finding himself down into 16th. Right close to Brendan Fenter in 15th. Oh, Brendan. Ah, sorry, bud. Again, as I mentioned his name, he goes off track. Let's go back quickly. Well, go off track. He just overcooks it coming into the exit. T-bones the tire wall there, and that should be quite a bit of damage. I can see from this angle even that BMW is not looking great. Let's have a look at that bonnet. That bonnet is crumpled. I'm sure the BMW engineers did not intend for this to be that shape, as he misses the braking mark of Parabolica, and I'm sure he would want to go into the pits and get that replaced as soon as possible. Yeah, he does go into the pits. I apologize. I should not mention anyone's names. Luckily, that's the first time tonight that that's happened. I haven't been too bad so far. Last week was definitely worse around Imola. Gary van den Haar in 10th place. Easy pace at the moment. Doing pretty well and consistent. Another one who's had a fairly quiet race so far is Rick Thomas. Currently in 22nd place. Already had one of his pit stops complete. It's a little bit behind the next person to do a pit stop, which is Marius Abers in 14th, but it should be maintaining a little bit. Car behind Fenter very hot into the pits. Thanks, Genre. Unfortunately, I think I might have missed that. Wasn't paying attention. Yeah, let's hope that there's no drive-throughs. We haven't had a single penalty so far this evening. Gosh, I think I just screwed the whole grid by mentioning that. And let's hope they can make it through the pits and along the track without any penalties being incurred. Wim Vic also having a bit of a quiet race. In 25th with a pit stop complete already. You can see some of the green ticks around him. Already completed 2 pit stops. Guys like Brendan Fenter and Ruan Liebenberg. Asking where Francois is. He is in the pits, unfortunately, for his first pit stop, so it's not too bad. But he's 16 laps behind. I'm not sure if I missed something there. Has he been in the pits for a while, or did he start late? 16 laps behind is quite a lot, considering that we've only done 19 laps. So yeah, something definitely went wrong there. I must have missed that. Apologies. I don't think Francois will be taking part in more of this race tonight. Heinrich de Wet coming through the first chicane. Had a stormer of a pit straight. He was making up a lot of time, a little bit slow through the pits, through the chicane. And with about 35 minutes past, quite a few guys have now hit the pits. Top 11 guys are yet to make a pit stop. As I say, that Ron van der Walt is currently in the pits, so it's just about the top 10 guys still to make a pit stop, and a lot can change. Ooh. Henry Platt ends off track at the first Lesmo. Let's go back and see. Oh, not far enough. He's already off track there. Fortunately, that means I will miss it. But doesn't seem to be too bad for Henry. Monza is a difficult pit entry. Yeah, I actually have a nice clip of me coming into the pits and overtaking a guy in the pit entry as he was overcautious, and I managed to squeeze my wide boat lead just past him. Not very good etiquette, but a man's racing, a man's got to do what a man's got to do. I won't be a proper racer if I don't take a gap that presents itself. Heinrich de Wet. Oh, Jason Landsberg into the pits. Jason with a keen eye on good strategy. Oh, unfortunately, I cannot see his car behind the board there. Guillaume Mouton in third. Jason exiting the pits in 12th place. Gary van den Haar has a little bit of a slow exit there. I keep getting a white flag for guys with a delta building up quicker than it should. Might just mean he had a bit of a slow exit to a turn, or extra cautious entry into a turn, like Heinrich de Wet. I think he might have had to hit the brakes a little hard for a blue flag car just ahead of him, because it's not Lucan ahead. No, that's not. It's probably a blue flag car just ahead. Guillaume Mouton with the yellow. Oh no! Guillaume, our second position in the championship, exits Ascari pretty well, which means he might have lost it on the exit of Parabolica, or was he a bit over keen on the brakes? Let's have a look. Enters fine, probably a little bit eager, and he is a little eager on the accelerator. Does a bit of a tank slapper into the tire wall, and I do believe we have some onboard radio from Guillaume. Yeah, unfortunately, again, Guillaume's radio not really broadcast friendly, but we know that Guillaume is not happy about that incident. He's chasing the championship lead here, and that will inevitably cost him quite a few positions. Hopefully the damage is not too great. He's into the pits. He was due a pit stop right about now anyway. Let's have a look where he comes out. Marius Abers also has a yellow flag, which means he exited. Where is he now? He's coming into... Oh, he probably just had a slow exit coming out of the pits. Jaco Kutzer now sitting with a 16-second lead, with some of the guys behind him having a pit stop. He would be probably come into the pits around the 45 to 40 minute mark. There we see Guillaume coming out of the pits. He's now a lap behind the leader, and will probably stay there until Jaco comes into the pits. Robert Klopstra quite a bit back, but having an excellent race in the Porsche. Solid, neat, clean lines through there. Nothing to worry about for Robert this evening so far. I concur. Lucan Haynes in third place, doing really well tonight. Solid drive from Lucan. It seems that he's been improving consistently throughout the series so far this year. And Monza seems to be a track that suits him well. In fourth place is Heinrich de Wet. Porsche seem to be enjoying the high-speed circuit. That's a blue flag car in front of him. The team radio clips are very insightful. I agree. Unfortunately, my editor is too quick, and we can't really hear Guillaume's true thoughts. Fifth place is Rob van den Heever. The first Ferrari of the bunch. I'm sure that the Fosi would want to see the Ferraris do a little better and at least end up on the podium somewhere. It's not impossible. There's quite a few of them on track. And could see a podium for a Ferrari after all. Quinten Janssen van Rensburg in 6th. Gary van den Haar right close behind him. Oh, Quinten goes a little wide. Gary takes a proper line, better grip coming out of the first chicane and takes that 6th position. Gary and the Aston Martin scoring a free overtake there. Well done for to Quinten for not forcing his way back on track, but rather sticking on the inside of the turn, allowing Gary a clean getaway. Guillaume Mouton just overtaking Arne Kroos. Arne dropping one position down. Vic Herbst into the pits. I think that's a second stop already. With just about on the halfway mark. Plenty of time to have a full tank, fresh tires all the way to the end, should be no problem. Let's have a look at our top performers on the grid so far. As Jean recalled it, Gary van den Haar made up 25 positions so far this race. He started in 31st position, now in 6th. Excellent performance. Heinrich de Wet made up 15 positions, starting in 19th, now in 4th. That's not a position challenge behind him, so we don't have to worry about that. Unfortunately, I can tell you, our biggest loser of positions so far this evening is Ruan Liebenberg. Started in 7th, now in 24th. He has completed both his pit stops, and that should afford him a few positions come the end of the race. But I don't think it'll be enough to make a substantial gain back on that 17 that he has lost. And then there's a few positions lost and gained throughout the rest of the grid. Guys like Alex Pitra made up 8 positions. Alex starting in 16th, now in 8th. Still to make a pit stops, any of his pit stops, and that should unfortunately mean he'll drop out when out of the top 10 when all pit stops are complete. I say that, but there's still chance for a lot to happen. I can see that our leader Jaco Kutzer is in the pits. That means that Robert Klopstra is our new leader of the race. Let's stick with Robert for a while, as he deserves attention for being in the lead of this race for sure. Robert really driving well in that Porsche tonight. Jaco Kutzer coming out of the pits in 9th place. Should hold it from Jason Landsberg, who is not too far behind, but far enough that Jaco doesn't have to worry too much. And this is probably our top 2 at the moment. The timing board on the left will balance out just now. Jason in 10th, Jaco in 9th. Jason a mere 4 seconds behind Jaco. And it'll be interesting to see how this all comes out at the end. I can see that higher up, guys like Ulrich de Jager already had one of his pit stops complete and is in the net lead at the moment. I'm trying to see, yeah, see, Ulrich had a pit stop of 7 seconds and Gerard Pretorius behind him 8.5 seconds, which means that was just a quick splash and dash. And when they have to do the second stop, probably for new tires and a lot more fuel, they will unfortunately drop back. So I don't think they'll be able to maintain that lead ahead of Jaco Kutzer and Jason Landsberg. Still, it's a strategy that's worth exploring, having an earlier pit stop with a splash and dash, and then get that first one out the way, and hopefully you can keep your nose clean as we progress in the race. In the meantime, Jaco Kutzer had a 42-second pit stop, which is quite long. Not sure if he had any damage or if that just might have been a bit of a slow stop. Weren't really paying too much attention. Oftentimes if you miss your pit stop marker, they have to push you back, and it's easy to lose another 5 seconds or so in the pits. In the meantime, Robert is still leading this race after 26 laps. There's no real battles happening on track as more guys head into the pits. Alex Pitra and Gerard Pretorius are in the pit. Gio Mouton is in the pits. Arne Kroos is in the pits, as these guys are looking to complete some their first, some their second pit stops. Dylan Hall, someone that's been very quiet this evening, having a steady drive in 20th position, both pit stops complete. He has 40 minutes left to enjoy Monza, and he's close enough to Brendan Fenter to give a bit of a chase and make a bit of a battle out of the make a battle of it for 19th position. We can see that Gary van den Haar pulled into the pits. So did Ulrich de Jager. Let's see where Gary comes out. Having made up the most positions so far, I do believe he'll still be up in a top 10 somewhere. Hopefully. All looking good so far. Did Gary even stop? He did, sorry. He was stationary for 17 seconds, which means that's fuel only, no tires changed. This could be a good strategy. I don't think he'll be changing tires later on. If you don't change it now, it's kind of pointless to change it later on, as it will take up too much time. So Gary on a really interesting strategy to not change tires, I think. Ulrich de Jager comes out the pits, finds himself in 9th, just ahead of Gerard Pretorius and the other Ferrari. I think these guys are teammates, I'm not sure. They are indeed. LTR taking up 9th and 10th position. Robert Klopstra now comes into the pits in the Porsche. Well done, Robert, for leading a good couple of laps on this race. Well deserved. And our new leader is Heinrich de Wet in another Porsche. The top 4 guys yet to make a pit stop. Well, Robert now is in the pit, sorry, so he'll drop down a little bit. And that leaves 3 guys yet to make a pit stop, any pit stops in this race so far. And our net leader will end up being Jaco Kutzer, who's currently in 5th. Jason Landsberg about 6 seconds back from that. That means that if Jason can keep his nose clean, he will gain quite a few points on Guillaume, who's now dropped back all the way to 14th. Slightly behind Graham Mole. These guys, along with Ulrich de Jager and Gerard Pretorius, a couple of corners up the road, have completed all their pit stops and will now be looking to gain positions, but the guys ahead of them still needing to make some pit stops. Still pretty quiet as far as track battles are concerned, as the pit strategies come into play. In the last couple of laps, the guys will be making a bigger push. Some will be on fresher tires, some will be on older tires, and we normally see quite a few positions change towards the end of the race. Rob van den Heever is also now into the pits, which means we have 2 drivers still out on the original tires, original fuel, making good work of a solid long first stint. Jackie Alberts in 12th place. Had a pretty good qualifying. I think Jackie started in 6th, yep, and he dropped 6. Had an unfortunate incident earlier on around, I think it was De La Rogia, but has kept his nose clean, avoided any trouble from since then, and has been driving nice and steady. Vic Petro in Ascari, finding himself a little bit off track. Let's have a look at Vic coming into Ascari. Just a little too hard on the brakes, a little quick in. Does a little spin around. Chooses to go across the sand rather than interrupt others' race. And back on track, losing 2 or 3 positions, but he's still in it, and in fact he does head into the pits as we come back to the live feed. I'm almost keen to start jinxing people by calling out no drive-throughs and no stop-goes. It's all for the views, not trying to wish any bad luck onto anybody. Heinrich de Wet still in the lead with a 7-second gap to him, to Quinten Janssen van Rensburg just behind him. And then Jaco Kutzer, probably our net leader at the moment, another 15 seconds back, but these guys deserve to have a chance in the front since they've been driving clean races. Gerard Pretorius, the other LTR driver, in 10th, running up our top 10 at the moment. Gerard has been known to be a good overtaker and good battler on track, having a couple of really close races with the likes of Graham Mole the last few tracks. Henny Potgieter, the Racing Snails Audi, humming along. Let's go on board and have a look at Henny exiting De La Roja. In fact, let's stay a lap with Henny here and enjoy the sounds of that Audi. In fact, I'm going to cut back to Gerard Pretorius, who's trying to take his teammate Ulrich de Jager, coming into now heading to the Lesmos. These two teammates, wonder if there's any team orders there. I can tell you Gerard quali 2 places ahead of Ulrich. But I don't think Ulrich is just going to give that up. Wait, Graham Mole making overtake on Jackie there. Nice and slick. Jackie under pressure from... No, that's not Guillaume behind him, don't worry. It's not for position. Let's go back and have a look at that overtake coming down the pit straight. No, I'm wrong. That's not the pit straight. That's the second Lesmo. Jackie has a bit of a rough exit there. Graham tries the outside, then back on the inside as he comes into Ascari. Jackie's got nothing left to do other than give that position up. Graham has a better line, better on the brakes, and yeah, makes it stick. It's a nice clean overtake. Dylan Hall also chasing hard now to Brendan Fenter. Go with a helmet cam. Just see exactly how hard this can be. So crucial to get a good exit here in Parabolica. He's nice and close. He could probably make the stick if he can just creep a little closer. Does have a look on the outside. Should have a better line. Should be able to brake fractionally later. They hit the brakes. They slow down. Oh, there's contact. I'm not sure Dylan had to go aggressive on the braking line there. Might have been swerving out a little on the braking marker. Let's go back on board and just see exactly what happened here. It's a bit of a slow BMW ahead. Dylan had to take evasive maneuvers. He's on the braking marker. Oof! I beg your pardon, Dylan did not move across much. And yeah, that contact was probably avoidable. I know that Dylan probably would not be happy with that and might call for stewards to intervene post-race. Graham Mole now with just about 5 seconds clear of Vic and 5 seconds behind Guillaume Mouton. Oh, there's someone off. Heinrich de Wet. Oh goodness, let's go have a look. He's back into the pits though. What happened there? Heinrich de Wet coming into the first corner. Looks a little bit uneasy into the... I think he just missed the braking marker. Not sure why he's going back to the pits from there. Yeah, I've no idea why he towed to pits. That is a really weird one. Heinrich was doing really well and finds himself in the pits now and is still there. He's been there for 45 seconds and I'm not sure if that is a problem or if yeah, let's hope it's not something as bad as load shedding or a wheel disconnection, because no one wants to see a race end like that. Gerard Pretorius is still hanging on to Ulrich just ahead of him. His two teammates on a similar pit strategy. Oh no, I should stop talking. Gerard loses it, waits for the first car, crosses back over onto the grass, and it's still slippery out there, ends up facing the wrong way again, back into the sand trap. Get it back, easy in the throttle there, Gerard, and you've got it, you back off. Haven't lost a position though. Oh sorry, I beg your pardon, he did. Alex Pitro came past. Yeah, sure. That's not fun when you try and get your car back on track and you just have zero grip. Yeah, I'd definitely like to find out from Heinrich what happened there. Tommy, welcome. Yeah, you missed quite an exciting first hour and 5 minutes of this race. I can tell you at the moment Quinten Janssen van Rensburg is our leader. Jaco Kutzer is not too far behind him, about 17 odd seconds. But Quinten is yet to make a pit stop. Jaco Kutzer has completed both. Jaco started off with a stormer of a first couple of laps, built up a gap of about 8 seconds in the first 4 laps or so, and then just maintained position. Between Jaco Kutzer and Jason Landsberg, the pit strategy comes into play yet again. They both have 1 pit stop left. Jason is about 4.7 seconds behind Jaco Kutzer. Jackie, on the other hand, currently in 11th place, 1 pit stop left. Solid, steady drive, but had one little incident earlier on coming out of De La Rogia and made contact with the wall and had to pit straight after. I can tell you guys that Heinrich de Wet is still in the pits. Definitely some mechanical problem, either at home or in game. That is really disappointing to see. Unfortunately for him, he was having a stormer of a race. I was looking to end up pretty high on the rankings, but that Porsche is going nowhere. Ah, I take it back. Is he heading out? No, he has actually now disconnected. As we head back to Jason, Robert Klopstra is overtaking Quinten Janssen van Rensburg, who's now in the pits. That was him that we saw just behind Heinrich de Wet. So he's making his way to the pit exit. Should come out in 4th still. And he does so. Lucan Haynes is about 3 odd seconds behind him. Lucan having a really good race this evening. And order has been restored with Jaco Kutzer in first place, Jason Landsberg in second, and a stormer of a drive from Robert Klopstra still in third. Again, the guys have settled in kind of a nice rhythm. Brendan Fenton not too far behind. Marius Avers is just about the only guys looking to have a battle. Oof, as I think Henry Platt had a bit of an incident as Vic Pitra overtook him, but there's already a 3-second gap, so I think we might have missed that. Brendan Fenton, like I said, is close to Marius Avers. Jackie Albert's come into the pits for his final pit stop with 23 minutes left. How's it, Gavin? Yeah, I was wondering where you were. Glad you could join us on stream. Pity about not being able to race. Here on the north coast of KZN, we've also been having quite a lot of electrical problems. More than just load shedding, as they try and repair aged infrastructure for a booming expansion in the residential areas. It's yeah, not ideal. Glad that I'm free from that tonight and I can at least show you the race. It would be nice to see you on track though, but Jackie's still in the pits. It was quite a long stop. He was stopped for, I'll tell you in a sec, as he's heading out. He's been in the pits for over a minute. That was quite a long pit stop. He was stationary for 33 seconds. Not too bad actually. That's a tire change and just about a full tank of petrol. And he should easily make it to the end. Hopefully with some new tires. And not too much of a hassle. Ruan Liebenberg just went a bit wide at the second Lesmo. Let's have a look coming into the first Lesmo. Into the second. Little eager. Swings it around. Looks the wrong way. Gently touches the wall. Should be fine. As he does a nice throttle turn back onto track and avoids oncoming traffic, which is always nice to see. Ruan van der Walt as well, I think, just did the same thing. Let's have a look. The Lesmos seem to be a little bit tricky this evening. Oh my gosh, it almost seems an exact copy, but it ends up on a different side of the track. The guys are starting to struggle a little bit. 90 minutes is just getting to the longer end of these races where focus gets to be a little bit of a problem. Most of the guys though seem to be okay, but a slight little mistake can cost you valuable positions this late in the race. Coming up to 70 minutes complete of this race. The order have definitely settled down quite a bit. The top few guys still need to do their last pit stops. Jason Landsberg likes to leave things up for question of when he will be pitting, and yeah, he's definitely got a card or two up his sleeve. The gap to Jaco Kutzer ahead is about 6 odd seconds, and behind him Robert Klopstra is about 7 seconds, which means he's got nice breathing room. There's a couple of blue flags just ahead, but I don't think it should be too much of a problem. Our blue flag drivers have been excellent in making way and not obstructing guys too much. Thomas and Tommy, welcome. Not sure if that's cousins or if it just is accidental or coincidental that we have two Tommy Alberts in our stream. I feel privileged to have you both here. Marius Abers is chasing Brendan Fenter ahead. Don't think it'll be for a lasting position, as Marius still has a pit stop left. In fact, that gap is actually growing quite a bit, as Marius is falling back a little bit. Robert Klopstra comes into the pits for his final pit stop. It'll be interesting to see where he comes out in relation to Ulrich de Jager, who is the first driver to have completed both his pit stops. And I can see that Lucan Haynes is our first driver to get a penalty, a drive-through penalty. Drive-throughs are normally for track limits. If you've hit your 3 warnings and you infringe again, as he comes out next to Jackie Alberts there, both drivers very respectful, leaving each other enough room there. Well, I can tell you that the Alberts family is here in full swing. Welcome, Tommy and Thomas. And you guys are supporting Jackie, who's currently in 17th position. Ah, from Flace, it makes sense now, thanks. I was wondering how I missed that earlier on. Right, Robert Klopstra in 4th place. Did he just do a drive-through? Did he not stop? He did a splash and dash, but that wasn't now. He's had 2 pit stops though, according to my log. I'm not quite sure why it's not showing on the leaderboard. I think I might have missed something as I was reading the comments. That's a pity, as I thought Robert was in with a good position and just went straight through the pits. He did come out quite a bit ahead of Ulrich de Jager, who I was keen to see where they would end up in relation to each other, but Robert still has a pit stop left. I'm not sure how I missed that. Gio Mouton right on the tail of Gary van den Haar. Gary started dead last and finds himself in 7th position. Excellent drive from Gary. Guillaume having a few little incidents of his own, looking to make up every position he can and not let Jason Landsberg run away in the championship. Robert back into the pits. I think there was a mistake in the pit stops earlier from Robert. Definitely this time was a proper... Oh, these guys are going to have some issues as they exit the pits. Very close together. Someone needs to budge. Let the other guy pass. As they separate. And Robert pushes ahead of Henny there. Henny not having too much of it though. Had to brake, really cuts off the driver's head, and there's a driver just ahead losing a few positions, spins out. Was that Marius Abers? Yep, it was Marius in the camo snail. Marius changing his livery from the infamous Batman as Yaku comes past and still in the lead. Graham Mole and Rob van den Heever seems to have tangled a little bit. Not sure if I missed that. Rob van den Heever pretty close behind. And like I said earlier on, with about 10 minutes left, you'll see more overtakes. Oof! Henny trying to get out the way there, but just nearly takes out Graham. And Rob van den Heever, eager to avoid a similar incident, flashes pretty early. Rob now right close to Graham. Rob was chasing his teammate Ulrich de Jager earlier on. They would have been 4th and 5th, I think. Rob had a little bit of a spin. Now looking to make up every position he can. Ferrari and Porsche chasing each other down the straight of Monza. Graham going right, trying to make his car as wide as he possibly can. I think Rob has the momentum. Comes down to the braking pedal. Who's got the better control of that, of the brakes? Oh, Rob decides to rather let Graham pass and not have contact. And we'll be looking to make a move now. So we look from on the Porsche back to Rob as they're coming down into Belarusia. Rob is right there. Graham goes a little awkwardly into that turn, and I think Rob might have enough momentum to take it coming into the first Lesmo. He doesn't quite have it. He's really close. The guys are exchanging paint there. Graham fighting really hard to keep that Ferrari behind him. Into the second Lesmo. Looks a little bit untidy. Looking a little bit like Graham's in trouble. Goes into the middle of the track. Gives no space to Rob. Untidy entry again from Graham. Slows Rob down enough to let... we can see that it's not another driver. Is that our leader? Indeed, that's our leader trying to pass the blue flags. I think Rob would be wise to let the leader pass. Stick close to the leader as he gets the blue flag for Graham. And it could be a bit awkward for Graham as he's trying to keep both, let the leader pass and still keep his other competitor behind him. Heinrich de Wet in the chat. So sorry to hear, bud. Seems like there was an incident with, is it Graham? Unfortunate. Fortunate that I missed it. We'll, I'll try and see what happened there in the replay maybe after the race, but glad you joined us here in the chat at least. Yeah, you were having a stormer of a race, and it's sad to see you withdraw. We were speculating whether it's maybe equipment malfunction, as I missed the incident. Talking about Graham, he's managed to let Jaco past and still keep Rob behind him. Further up ahead, Robert Klopstra is chasing Gary still. I can tell you, Gary gained 24 positions. Started in 31st, now in 7th. Excellent performance. Quinten Janssen van Rensburg is now in the pits as well. He was the third last driver still to make a pit stop. It now leaves our two front runners, and it'll be interesting to see if Jason can actually make something happen in the pits. Quinten exits the pits, maintains his podium position with a nice steady gap to... No, I lie, he's in 4th position, I beg your pardon. Ulrich de Jager is in 3rd. As the timing boards took a second to catch up. Ulrich is in 3rd place, with a nice solid gap over to Quinten in 4th, with 10 minutes on the clock. The guys are now trying to bring the cars home in one piece, keep the noses clean, and there's quite a few guys with a chance of making up some positions. Maybe a bit of an aggressive overtake here or there, as long as they keep it clean. One of those will be Jackie Alberts, really close to Brendan Fenter ahead. Brendan in the BMW trying to make it stick around the outside of Parabolica. Jackie has a better run. He's right close to Brendan. That McLaren has excellent flat out speed around here. Jackie maybe should have tucked in a little bit longer behind. Get that BMW to pull you along. He does decide to do so now. Oh, almost under braking, almost contact under braking. Is on the inside, not far enough to have right of way into the turn, decides the better of it and pulls back a little bit. Way to fight for another lap. I'll keep an eye on this. In the meantime, Robin here for his right by Graham Mole. Robin Ulrich de Jager was running close together. Quentin Janssen van Rensburg and Gerard Pretorius having a bit of incident. I think Gerard might have overshot his turn. Let's go back and have a look. Gerard is just behind Quentin here. I think he might have just lost a little. Let's go have a look. I'm not quite sure what happened. Comes steaming through, misses that braking marker completely. Tries to cut back over the grass rather than take the slow exit between the now demolished polystyrene boards. Was ahead of Quentin for a split second there until Quentin took that position back by staying on track. Jackie Albert having another go coming out of Parabolica, trying to chase down Brendan Fenter. Let's have a look if he can make it stick this time. As we look on the back wing of Brendan's BMW, you can see the McLaren really storming in. Has another look on the inside. Will he make it under the braking? He does indeed. Outbrakes Brendan and himself. Shoots through the chicane. Needs to be careful not to get a penalty for that. Does the right thing, seems to slow down and let Brendan catch up. Gentlemanly maneuver there. There we go, tuck in behind Brendan and have another go on the next come around of this track. 7 minutes left. Time is running out for Jackie to make that move stick. Jaco Kutzer now with a 15-second lead of Jason Landsberg. It's going to take a miraculous pit stop for him from Jason to make up any room. Of course, nothing is set until some celebrity waves the checkered flag at the end. Robert Klopstra and Guillaume Mouton. Guillaume really doing well to make his way back all the way to 6th after a little bit of a shaky start to this race. Now under pressure from Robert. Robert from Mattress Racing definitely doesn't seem to have fallen asleep on that mattress. Let's see how close that Porsche is. Really close, I can tell you. Coming into Ascari. Robert has a bit of a better entrance. Pretty solid exit. Oh, a little snappy. Not quite snappy enough for Robert to gain enough speed and momentum to make it stick into Parabolica, but I'm sure we'll want to have another look at it on the pit straight. That Porsche seems to be a little bit better under braking. As we have a look, I think Jackie's not quite close enough to Brendan this time around. We'll have a look at that just now. Robert's not close enough there. Jackie is pretty close coming into the second Lesmo. You'd have to stick close to Brendan to make anything happen. Just going to quickly cut back to Rob van den Heever, who's making a move on Graham Mole. Really hard braking there to avoid contact as Graham had the better line. And Graham will exit a little bit better as well. In fact, let's go back and have a look at Robert's attempt there, trying to overtake Graham as they come into the pit straight. On the helmet cam here, you can see that Porsche not quite swerving from side to side, sticks to the middle, make Rob decide which way he wants to go. Decides to have a look on the inside. Should he, shouldn't he? He decides he should rather not. Very good driving from both drivers. Robert Klopstra still trying to overtake Gio Mouton. Ooh, what happened there? Oh, sorry, that was still the replay. Beg your pardon. Robert Klopstra still trying to overtake Gio Mouton. As they come into Ascari. If I remember correctly, it's Ascari where Guillaume had his incident. As we got just under 4 minutes left. Dylan, thanks for joining us. We were wondering what happened. That ended up being quite a long pit stop. Glad you can join us on stream. Maybe you can yeah, maybe you can just run us through what happened there. See Rob still pushing hard, has a really good exit coming into Parabolica. Graham needs to make a move on. Let's have a look on the rear wing and watch that Ferrari come really close. He's definitely going to have a better run this time. As he cuts to the inside, he'll have the better line coming to the braking zone. In fact, he might actually have this move done by the time they hit the brakes. As they come to the end of the pit exit, Graham decides better to try and fight too hard. Brakes a little bit earlier, gives Rob that one. As Rob finds himself in 9th position. Graham is not letting it go though. He's going to have another go. Try and take that position back. Graham, 3rd in our championship at the moment. Was quite close behind him if I remember correctly. Robert Klopstra in the meantime having another go. Oh, sorry about that. I cut back at just the wrong time. Graham misses that one. Rob's trying to overtake Guillaume. And what was a reverse from earlier on. Let's have a look if okay, we're on here with Rob. Graham coming in quick. Oh, I think it's a bit early braking from Rob van den Heever. Graham tries to avoid contact, nearly loses it, jumps some sausages, and is still behind. Gio Mouton, meantime, has lost a few positions. Oh, Guillaume, let's have a look what happened here. Still being chased here by Robert Klopstra. Coming into Ascari, I think, yeah. And I think it's just the previous lap that I said. Oh no, it's an exact repeat of Guillaume's earlier incident. Guillaume losing a few positions there. We've heard before what he said on the radio. I will not repeat that this time. Yeah, Guillaume now is rounding out our top 10 at the moment. Luke and Haynes is close enough to still have a little look with just about a minute left. Let's go to our leader, Jaco Kutzer, in 1st place. That's normally where the leaders find themselves. And Guillaume gets a drive through. Guillaume gives a drive through for probably cutting the corner. If we go back and have a look, he does indeed speed through there. That's an automatic drive through. He gets a bit of a flash from another driver, not sure it is. And it goes from bad to worse. Guillaume pulls off the track. I'm expecting him to teleport to the pits. Oh boy. Guillaume is in the pits. He's calling it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to our leader with 30 seconds left. I think this is probably the last lap. If he's only coming around Curva Grande, this could be the last lap. Jaco Kutzer with the lead of 15 seconds ahead of Jason Landsberg. Jason now just exiting the first chicane. And another 20 seconds back is Ulrich de Jager now coming into turn 1. The official race timer is up. Just trying to see where our leader is on track. Okay, I'll keep an eye on him so we can catch him coming across the line. Quinten Janssen van Rensburg in 4th place. No real other battles happening on track. Ruan van der Walt is trying to chase down Jackie Albert. Don't think there's quite enough time unless Jackie does something silly, which I sincerely hope he does not. And whoa, let's go back and have a look at Yaku trying to finish too strong maybe. Just clips the inside sausage, does well to avoid contact with the barriers, keeps it on the grass, one wheel on, one wheel off, coming around Parabolica. Yaku Kutzer with the fastest lap time, pole position and the win. Solid race from Yaku Kutzer. Well done. Jason Landsberg in second place as he comes around Parabolica. Another great race from Jason, keeping it consistent with wins and second places. Jason with a well-deserved lead in this championship so far. Ulrich de Jager in third place, rounding up the podium with another 20-second lead to the guy in fourth place. Ulrich representing Team LTR and his teammate a little bit further back, Quinten Janse van Rensburg, now entering Parabolica, doing it for the team, bringing the KSR BMW across the line. Gerard Pretorius just behind him, crossing the line. Gary van den Haar definitely in there with the... Oh, that's Robert Klopstra just behind him, having a look on the inside, and now not only does he not overtake him, but now lose. Did he run out of fuel? I hope that is not the case. Robert on the last corner, slowly coming across the line with no fuel left. That's the only thing I can think that's happened here. He's dropping down the order from a possible 5th or 6th all the way down. Someone give this man a push, please. He is needing that. Not enjoying the last lap as he crawls across the line. I apologize to everyone else who I now missed to commentate. Robert comes down in 12th position, and that is unfortunate as he was really battling to maybe even make an overtake stick. And yeah, I apologize. That should have been more focused on some of the other guys crossing the line. Let's go back there. You can see Gerard Pretorius was in 5th place, Gary van den Haar in 6th, Rob van den Heer for 7th, Graham Mole 8th, Lucan Haynes in 9th, and Vic Herbst in 10th. Rounds out your top 10. Well done to all our drivers. Well done to our winner, Yaku Kutzer, and Jason Landsberg and Ulrich de Jager for running up the podium. To everyone online, thanks for joining me. I had a blast. It was fun right down to the very end. Appreciate you all. And we'll see you next week, same time, same place, as the guys conclude season 17 of the RaceFace.Pro GT3 Championship. Have a good one. God bless.